feel like I'm just like a boat upon a winding river, twisting towards an endless black sea, further and further, drifting away from where I want to be, who I want to
be. Well, what's going on with everybody? Everybody's doing good. Just another average, normal Wednesday morning, right? It's 12:15. It's noon. So it's not morning anymore. It's the afternoon. A regular Wednesday afternoon. Nothing out of the ordinary. I guess I'll just go through my week, talk about what has happened, and just what's happening. I don't know what else I could possibly talk about. There's nothing else going on, I don't think. I don't know, I've been watching the news or anything, so I guess I'll just... So Friday, I PA'd. My production assistant did. It was sort of a last minute, oh shit, I guess I'll do that. Tuesday, I went with Alama to, last Tuesday, before I did the last podcast. I went with Alama to talk to this group of seniors to see if I could PA on their shoot over the weekend, and they said yes. So Friday, we both went to Queens, like the far edge of Queens, to help on this comedy, I guess, end of the world, Armageddon, apocalypse comedy, Armageddon. But because I want to get some experience, and it was fun. I didn't get to PA. I just production. I wasn't production assistant. They put me in as an extra. Al had to PA, but they were just like, you know what, our bad guy needs a body or a guard, so you do it, because I was like the biggest guy there. Everybody else was, because like that's the thing. They said everybody in film school was either like really small and scared or really fat and sad. Like that's how it works. There's no one that's like fit and loving life there. So I did that shit, which was fun. I would wake up so fucking early for that though, because it was like I had to wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning to get to the train station at 6, the Times Square train station, and then we took a train to Queens, and then we took a bus all the way to the edge of Queens, which was fucking crazy. It was like an hour and a half to get there, so we got there at 7:30, and we didn't leave till 7 o'clock, so it was over a 12-hour day. I finally got home at 8:30, and I was fucking exhausted, but it was so much fun. I learned a lot. It was. I mean, it's an intense process, and it's very particular. I didn't realize, it was sort of almost discouraging how time consuming it is, because there was like probably like 4 minutes probably they filmed 4 minutes total, but we were there for 12 hours, and I was in a lot of the scenes because like I was sort of like a last minute, well, we should put a bodyguard in there so it doesn't look as weird, and I was a goofy motherfucker. I had like, there were a couple other guards too, but they actually looked like guards. Like they were dressed in all black, and they had like weapons and shit, and I was just like, they dressed me up as like a homeless guy. I'm not even kidding. You can look on my Instagram, but it's fucking ridiculous. But I had a lot of fun. The antagonist was actually a last minute replacement, but he was a cool dude, because I guess the antagonist that they had dropped out last minute because he had to go be in something in LA. So he's like, oh, sorry guys. So they had to get someone literally the night before to replace him, but the guy did a good job anyway. But I was only there for one of the days. I was there for Friday. I think they're filming over 4 or 5 days. It's a TV pilot, like I said, and it's a cool story. I guess it's about this. It's called The Troupe. It's about like a troupe of artists after the world ends that travel around and do shows for money or do shows for people. It was cool. So essentially, they found this Russian or compound, or maybe just the antagonist was Russian, but this like those some mean looking motherfuckers, and they went in there and did their show, and then they pissed off the guy, and he tried to kill them, so they all ran, and then I think at the end it's like a big reveal that they actually managed to steal. They managed to like steal shit. Like I guess they're like actually thieves in the end. Like, oh, we're just pretending to be we're pretending to be like a little art troupe, but you know we go into your city and then we steal shit. So it's funny. There was a lot of funny lines in it, and it was cool knowing what types of things that people can get made, because like I guess the way the senior projects work is that, you know, everybody comes up with a bunch of ideas, and then the best 2 or 3 ideas are the only ones that get produced the senior year, whatever class you're in, if it's in like a TV pilot or film. So it was cool, the type of thing that got like this comedy, you know, this very creative so, you know, it's hopeful for me, but at the same time, I would not want to fucking do any of those other roles than like the showrunner, because the showrunner didn't do much. The showrunner wrote the script, and then just sort of watched the production and had the last final say. But you know, she was pretty, you know, not involved, and I didn't know that about showrunners, that like that you don't really, you know, I mean you have ultimate say, but you sort of just, you know, stand back and let the fucking magic happen. But everyone there was super fucking good. The director was great. Oh, my phone is going off. Chipotle. Chipotle's like, yo, we still got burritos, guys. So yeah, anyway. So it was really professional. There was a lot. It was super complicated, but I think everybody had a lot of fun while we were there. And like I said, I learned a lot. Poor Alma, though. They pretty much everybody, all the PAs ended up being extras for one scene except Alma. They thought it was so demeaning. They made him like go. They literally made him go like fetch sticks for a significant portion of the day. They're like, you know, he's like, what do I do? And they're like, well, we need sticks. And he's like, okay. And he gets a bag and puts a bunch of sticks in the bag and comes back and they're like, don't put it in the bag. Don't put it in there. He's like, oh shit. Like, go get some hay. And he's like, with my hands? He's like, no, in the bag, you idiot. You know, so I don't think they called him an idiot, but it was demeaning. It was some demeaning shit. Go fetch us some sticks and hay. I don't know where they expected him to get hay. I mean, it was sort of like a little. It definitely wasn't like city at all. It was so weird because it was the biggest open space I'd been in 3 months now, 2.5 months. Because you know everything here is so close together. Like the farthest open space you have is in between 2 buildings. You know, diagonally, and yeah, I mean it was nutso. But you know, which is Fort Totten, I think is what it was called. So it was like an old base, and it was neat. It was really neat, and had a really fun experience with it. And then afterwards, we came back at 8:30. I was so fucking tired. I had to come home. I immediately had a coffee and a Red Bull. Not a Red Bull. It doesn't fucking matter. Some fucking dumb energy drink because I was so tired. And then we went to the Mike Birbiglia show, which started at 10:30, and that was in Brooklyn. And it was like fucking. It was. I don't know. Here's the thing about Mike Birbiglia is that Mike Birbiglia is a good comic. So no matter what he does, is gonna be pretty fucking good. Like he's not gonna have a show where he goes up there and just fucking like just bombs and everybody's like, oh my god, what happened to Mike Birbiglia? No, he's gonna put on a good show because he's a good comic and he's been doing it for a while. But comparatively, you know, it was not his best, and that's okay. I don't think you should hold all artists to the idea that the one that they're doing now has to be their best. But it definitely didn't hit as hard as the other ones. It didn't hit as hard as My Girlfriend's Boyfriend or any of the other shows that he did. You know, and that's okay. I mean, this was definitely better than the ones he did before he started doing these one-man shows. It was better than his because like he started out just doing comedy specials where he didn't have like emotional aspects to it. But I felt that this would have been stronger as just jokes because the emotional stuff sort of felt not as, I don't want to say not as genuine, but they didn't seem to come from a heartfelt place as much. Like I would have thought, I personally feel that it would have been a better show if he had just kept it light, because like the emotion and stuff sort of felt tacked on at the end. It felt kind of half baked. And you know, I was talking to Alam about this, and he said that he would have he would have been surprised, and he wouldn't have liked it if Birbiglia didn't end that way, because that's like his whole style. But it definitely wasn't his best show. It was super funny. We all liked it. Abhishek loved the David O. Russell parts. They're fucking hilarious. We're just, you know, told a joke he made about David O. Russell a couple years ago and made him at an award ceremony that David O. Russell got fucking furious and left for. And that was his sort of thing. It's called Thank God for Jokes. And he sort of presented himself as this, like, he didn't present himself as that, but that was basically the way that the show, I mean, yeah, he did kind of. He presented himself as sort of like an alternative, you know, comic that like says, I mean, he did say cunt on stage, which is not fucking something I expected from Mike Birbiglia. But he did it in such a way that he was quoting someone else. So personally got the impression that while he was up there, he sort of wanted to make this special more. I mean, because if you look at Mike Birbiglia, he doesn't really swear that much. He's a lot like Gaffigan and or Seinfeld, and being like clean comics, and that's perfectly okay. But I feel like there comes a little bit of I feel like those guys are pretty self-conscious. You know what I mean? In the sense that the greatest comedians of all time, for the most part, have been these fucking just trailblazers when it comes to just saying the dirtiest fucking shit on stage. You know what I mean? Like the best of all time have all pretty much done that. So when you get really good comedians that don't really swear, sometimes you can see that they sort of get defensive when it comes to the fact that they don't swear, because they don't then a lot of times they seem a little too mainstream, or they don't seem alternative enough. But the fact is that you pretty much got to be mainstream to survive, especially now, because comedy, especially stand up. I mean, it's not doing all that great right now, and hasn't been for a while. So you sort of have to be kind of mainstream to survive. But I got that impression that because he said a lot of shit that I wouldn't expect from Mike Birbiglia, and that was sort of the whole point of his show, is to show that what I mean, like jokes are jokes, you know what I mean, and it was a very polite attack against political correctness and the results that can come from people taking jokes too seriously, like the Charlie Hebdo thing and from a couple years ago, and it just he basically said, you can come from the show and tell everybody that Mike Birbiglia said cunt, or Mike Birbiglia said that, talked about gay people, or talked about, but you come and say Mike Birbiglia talked about gay people. Oh no! Well, he made a few jokes that I guess probably could have pissed people off, because you're not supposed to, and I get why you're not supposed to make jokes about people that that don't really like the difference between making a joke about a white person and making fun of a gay people or a black person is that especially coming from a straight white guy like Mike Birbiglia, it doesn't seem all that right. Everybody gets uncomfortable, even if you say a very nice joke, gay people are better than white or better than straight people. It's people get on edge, you know what I mean? Because for so long, people fucking didn't have rights, you know what I mean? And when people made jokes, they came out of almost exclusively hateful, negative places. So it makes sense that people are very hesitant to hear a straight white guy tell jokes about anybody that's ever been subjugated or oppressed. So I 100% get that. But I don't know, he sort of made it seem like he was this alternative comic, and he's not. I mean, I still think Birbiglia is great, and I think what he's doing with the way that he has been making his shows more about emotion is also great. But I think that thing that I could tell he was trying to do sort of took control and made the emotional aspect of it seem less important. I think that he really found his stride with My Girlfriend's Boyfriend, and the fact that it was so different from everything else may have made him want to go back a little bit, or may have wanted him to be wait, I'm still a regular comic. But yeah, so it was a good show, and I think that anybody that goes to see it would enjoy it. He had some great crowd work. He got really fucking lucky with the people that were in the crowd, but he got some great ass crowd work. And that was just something that is because another girl saw it a different day than I saw it. That girl Erin saw it the next day, because we went and saw it when he was taping on Friday, and she went and saw it on Saturday, and it was he got lucky, and it was like I said, it was a lot on him for how he set up the show, because in the beginning he was complaining about lay people. He took the beginning of the show to do a little bit about complaining about lay people, so that when a couple lay people inevitably showed up at both shows, he had boom, instant crowd work. And I don't think that they were the same people, but I mean, I don't think that they were plants, because I was talking to Erin, and she was describing where they'd come from, and it was different. They looked different, and they had come from a place. So I don't think it was plants. They were plants, but there's a lot of very good crowd work in it. and he even said that this would probably be the show. But he was sick. That was the fucking craziest part, is that he was sick, and every once in a while he'd hold up his finger and he'd go and get a drink of water, and then go back start a little bit before where he had ended, and then get into his shit again. Which sort of he sort of turned that into a joke, so that when he would start a little bit forward, he would tell it the exact same way people would laugh at. And he did at the end too. He retold his final joke, which is for me, it was sort of a little disorienting. I can't have an opinion right now because I've never seen anybody else film a special. That was the first special I've seen filmed. But it was a little, I guess disorienting would be the word. I don't want to say disappointing, because it wasn't disappointing, but I sort of didn't know that it was like that when they film specials, that they're like, all right, hold on, let me tell that joke again, and like laugh how you did before. Like, it's sort of like, oh. Like, I guess I just sort of was hopeful or naive to think that, because I knew that it's filmed on multiple days and they pick the best shots from each day, and that's something you can see in. You normally don't see it because they wear the same clothes every day and it's the same setup and the same stage, but you can see that in Chris Rock's show, Kill the Messenger, I think, from 2008. He was wearing different clothes every time, and like, so like there's shots where he's talking one thing and then they cut to another and he's in a completely different clothes. So it's like you can see how they do it for a lot of these guys, is that they film it over a couple days. Mike Birbiglia used 4 days to film 4 different shows: 7:30, 10:30 Friday, 7:30, 10:30 Saturday, and we went to the 10:30 one on Friday, and so like I just didn't expect there to be like literally, okay, hold on, let me tell that one again. But like I said, I've never seen anybody else do it, so I can't really compare that to anybody else, because I've never seen anybody else. But all in all, it was a good show, and I'm happy I went. It was $40. It was half of Louis, and it was worth it. Other than that, I mean, that was Friday, and then I basically just chilled out a lot this weekend. I came up with an idea for a series, because I was starting to get kind of sad before. Wednesday was a really bad day. Wednesday, if you go back and listen to the podcast, was pretty depressing and pretty sucky. It wasn't funny at all, and it wasn't good. And I just got really sad for no reason. And Abhishek sent me this link for a script contest that's due in December 7th or 8th or 9th, I don't know, somewhere around there. And about like you either submit like a short film script or a TV pilot script. And I was thinking that, I think I'm going to do that shit. Like I've already come up with a lot of the ideas, but I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to write the first episode over Thanksgiving. And if they don't pick it up in December, I'll try to write a couple more episodes over Christmas break and really buckle down and do it, and come back second semester and film it, because we really can. It's called, the idea I have is, for right now, the working title is The Shat, and it's about my roommates in this suite of 6 guys that we have, and the one guy in particular that sort of doesn't really fit in as much, and and that's this stinky roommate, and it's more about because it was kind of shitty, but we sort of bonded over the 5 of us bonded over the fact that we were so weirded out by this other roommate. So it's it's supposed to focus on the fact that it's not right, that would like a lot of times we will make jokes or make jokes or bond over the fact that this guy is really a fucking character. And that's really what I was just thinking about, how much of a fucking character he is. And I was like, I could turn this into something. And it's about like sort of the guilt that comes along with, we bonded in spite of this guy, we're making jokes in spite of this guy. And it's sort of the guilt, and also, so I kind of want to make it like a comedy in the beginning, and then sort of transform into something a little deeper than that by the end. I think it's going to be about 6 episodes. I came up with some outlines for the 6, but and probably 20 minutes each, so probably 2 hours of film, and which is a big thing, and considering that it took 12 hours to film 4 minutes the other one, it sounds ridiculous, especially if you don't really know, if all you know is what I just told you. But obviously the production is not going to be anywhere near as close as the other one, as the one that as the shoot I was on. We can probably film this in a month. You know what I mean? Probably like we probably film it in like 20 days, some like 10, 15 days of shooting. I don't even know, but it definitely won't take 4 minutes for 12 hours and 4 minutes. The production won't be nearly as precise or as fucking exact in particular as that one. Which hopefully I don't think the quality will be that much worse because it isn't as particular, but we'll see. So that's exciting, and I'm gonna work on that a little bit more. Abhishek put out the sketch. He fixed the timing of it because it turned out a little bit. We were all kind of disappointed with it because it came out and like he finished it and he put it up about a week ago, and we were all a little disappointed with it, especially Abhishek. Abhishek's like, I'm a hack, and I don't think he knew exactly what was wrong with it, and I didn't really either. I was just like, there's something about this, like it's not really that funny, and Alama was like, it's the timing. I was like, oh fuck, that's right. I don't even usually think about like timing and stuff, and he's like, yeah, it's the timing. And I was like, shit, you're right. And he's like, and we were that's what he ended up telling Abhishek. He was like, yeah, man, or I might have told it. I think I might have told it. Yeah, it was the timing of it, and that's when Abhishek did the same thing as me. He's like, oh fuck, you're right. That's why, because like I feel like he felt a lot worse when he didn't know like what was wrong with it, and then when he was like, oh shit, it is the timing. Like it was better because he was able to go back and fix it, and it turned out pretty funny. That's like, he even said he's like this is crazy, like I've never had to like make a comedy like this before, like a back and forth like he usually does dramas and stuff where he sort of let it sit, and he's like, I've learned a lot about it though, which is like I said, it's fucking good that we're all just doing this and we're all learning from it. So yeah, I mean it turned out pretty funny. I want to get moving on the next stuff though. I had a couple ideas that are very different from that one. Because the thing about that one is that one's like it's like a traditional sketch. It's like something that you would see on SNL or something that you would see. Somebody said yesterday in class, he's like, oh, I watched that sketch. Like it reminded me of 2008 YouTube in a good way. And I know exactly what he means because it's like a very organized sketch sort of thing, and I really like those. And we have a couple more ideas like that. But I also want to do other things as well. I want to make sketches that are very character based. I was talking to Alama last night because Abhishek was out with a couple buddies, and I was talking to Alama last night, and I was saying that I want to make us characters, not different characters. Like I'm not gonna go and like Shane Dawson style where I'll turn into Ned the Nerd and wear glasses and shit, but I want to make each of us singular characters with a lot of different quirks about us. And like one of the other video that's up on the channel is me doing that fucking weird, horrible, unfunny story in that New England accent. And initially I was thinking like, okay, well I guess I could do like a character that's like a New England, but I was thinking like, oh, how about even funnier? I just, for some reason, go into a New England accent whenever I tell a joke because my character feels like he has to because he watches a lot of Bill Burr or something like that. You know what I mean? Because I want to make it a little bit more, character and personality based. Like we have to. That's a lot of what sells nowadays is that personality and the charm of feeling like the person. So if we make our on-screen personas a little bit more, with a lot of different quirks to them, you know what I mean, like that, and that's something that the sketches that I've wrote over the past week. I didn't type them up yet, but the one about the cooking show and the other one about the weight loss hallucinogen thing, the weight loss program that is just hallucinogens. So that's something that I worked on to be a lot more character based, and it's mainly me that I didn't really write for them yet. Which I guess just proves I'm a fucking narcissist or selfish asshole. But I decided because I want to try them. They're both very easy. They're both very low production. And like I said, and then it had the style of these very character based sketches is like the style is sort of low cost, and like, you know, you're right there with them, and like, you know what I mean, like you sort of want to be in it, or feel like it's not perfect, or feel like it's not set up, and that sort of adds to the charm for these type of things. So we're gonna try it this weekend. Abhishek's gonna be PAing, so I'm probably gonna have to do the breakfast thing with Alima, but that's okay, because all I need is a cameraman to hold the camera, because it's just gonna be me, and then I want Abhishek to be in the other one. But he's not going to be peeing all weekend, so he can I'm sure he could find some time to like be, because I think I want him to play the doctor. So I'm sure he can find some time to come in and be the doctor for this one. So poor Alma's probably just going to have to do camera for both of them, which is fine. You know, fine for him. It better be fine. But yeah, so that's going to be exciting. I know I talk a lot about, you know, doing more sketches than we actually do, but you know, we actually have one out now. And it got like 90 or so views or something on YouTube. I don't know. It got a lot of fucking views. They both shared it. I posted in a couple things. And it did pretty fucking, I mean, it did better than I thought. I think they have now, let me see here. Let me check how many subscribers. No, that's your, okay, we have 8 subscribers on it, and it has 110 views and 10 likes and 0 dislikes. So, I mean, it did pretty decently. It did better than you know. For if we get 8 more subscribers every video, eventually we'll have a good amount. And like I said, that was sort of what we wanted to do. We wanted to sort of just build. At least that's what I want to do. I just wanted to build an audience, so when I do something that really matters to me, people can watch it. You know what I mean? Like, because if you have 0 subscribers and you do something that is really fucking important to you and really fucking good, like you put a lot of time into it, if you don't have any subscribers, no one's going to watch it and it won't go anywhere. So we really wanted to do this to build an audience for all of us. And so I'm excited about what we're going to do this week with it. And yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about it. Stand-up has been going okay. Last night I went to the Den, and it was fucking... The Den was great. The Den was great last night, but I'll see if I can get into that a little bit later. But other than that, I went to the Den on Sunday night, and that was great, because that was the first time I did it in a couple days. That's the thing about that's the thing that I always say on here, is that I always feel so great after I do stand up. It's very rare that I do it and I feel like shit. But it's just that it's still having fear of going up and failing. And even when that's the crazy part, is even when I do fail, I still feel good. I still feel like, well, you know what? I accomplished something. I did something. I bit the fucking bullet and I did it. So even though I feel bad, I still feel kind of good in a way. But I went up there and I started bombing I bombed for about a minute and a half, because, you know, someone was talking about pets and stuff. So I went up there and told my story about fucking I told my pet story about, we found a dog on Christmas Eve. I think I might have told on this podcast. And when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, I did a Tropicana speech, you know, a class competition about my crazy dog that we found on Christmas Eve. It runs around the house. It's so crazy. Oh my God. And I won for my class. And I was going to do it on the school news and compete on the school news with some other kids. And I won that on March 31st. And on March 31st, I came home from school. The dog ran underneath the fence, ran onto that Moog Road in my old house in Devonshire, and got hit by a car and died. And I go into school the next day crying. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do the speech. I can't do the speech. And literally, people go, April Fools. And that didn't make anything better, because now I had people thinking I was a liar because I kept crying. They're like, okay, it's not funny anymore. You know what I mean? But that's how I got into acting, because people were like, you know, you should really be an actor. And I was like, thank you. And, you know, here I am now. And it had nothing to do with it. But, yeah, that was horrible. I was like, I can't do it. And they're like, what? Because I fucking can't do it. What do you mean, why? The fucking dog is dead. I'm not going to do it. Which is, you know, a great band, by the way. Excellent band. No. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I bombed for a minute and a half, no laughs, because I was stupid. It's a sad story. It's not something people are gonna go, oh, your dog died. So yeah, it did not go well. And I was like, oh shit. I walked a person, or at least the person went to go get a drink while I was up, because it was like, well, I'm not gonna enjoy this. Might as well get a beer. So, you know, I walked a person, and there's just people looking at me. I went up. I was the last comic of the night, and there was about 5 or 6 other comics looking at me. A lot of them I didn't know. Most of them I didn't know. And I won them back. I did. Because I, used the material that I've been working on lately. I used that material that I had been working on for a couple days. Or not a couple weeks, where, I'd said that I sort of felt like I was closer to finding my voice when I sort of went a little bit more personal. I started writing more personals that weren't dick jokes and stuff after that night that, we talked to that guy on the steps and I told Alamo all about, like, Victoria and shit, and he was like, that's the best thing you have. So, and that's getting better and better because it mattered more instantly to me. I could deliver it better. People were more interested because it wasn't something where it was just like, hey, my dicks. People were instantly more interested, and now it's funny. You know what I mean? So now it 5 or 6 people I killed. I was like, holy shit. And I kind of got a new contact that was like, hey, I do I was like, hey, yeah, you do a show at the Pear? Not the Pear. No, she does a show at the Village Lantern. Which I haven't been able to get into because I'm not 21. But hopefully, if I get a fake ID, if I get that, so that I can start going into that's the craziest thing. If I get that shit, like, I'm not gonna use it to go to, like, get drunk or get alcohol or whatever. Like, I just need to get in the fucking bars so I can do stand up. You know what I mean? So I mean, a couple of them, like, that's the thing about the Bunga's Den. Where they do 12 a.m. at the Den, that I try to go to as much as I can, is that Friday and Saturday they have a fucking bouncer, so I can't go in. He, like, looks at me, and now he knows me, so there's no way I'm gonna be able to go to that bar for a while unless Jimmy just sort of talks to him like, hey, he doesn't drink, he just comes here to bark and shit. So I'm gonna start going there Friday and Saturday and just putting in time and barking. Just to bark, so that the guy sort of knows me and knows I'm not going there to get drunk. I'm going there to get on stage. So I'm just going to start barking outside, even though I can't go into the building. And maybe hopefully that guy will, like, sort of, warm up to me and let me in. But yeah, she does a show at the Lantern, and I was talking to her. She's like, add me on Facebook, send me a message. So I did that. I've yet to hear back from her, so she, that's why I said it might be a contact, it might not. But I did. She accepted my friend request, and I haven't gotten a message back. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Like I said, it always goes good, and I don't feel as self-conscious now. But I don't know. I think is there anything else that has been? I can't think of anything else that has happened in the past couple days. Like, is there anything? I think I've been going to Dunkin' Donuts a lot more. I've been going to the gym, but feeling good. Anything last 24 hours is, same old sort of thing. I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll, put on the music and start. All right, thanks for listening, guys. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Holy shit. I want to do this after. I want to do this in the end because I don't know if what I'm going to say is going to be okay, or if what I'm going to say is going to be popular opinion, or for what I'm going to say is going to work. And I also thought that would be super fucking funny if I just pretend that didn't happen. And, we'll see. You normally I'm not super fucking funny, so so probably not. And probably there's going to be people going to be like, hey, you didn't, Alan and obviously are going to be like, you didn't talk about the election. I was like, just hang in there and listen to it. So yeah, the fucking U.S. presidential election last night, fucking to the day after. It's 12:49 p.m. I'm still fucking blabbing. I gotta go to class at 2 o'clock, so I gotta make sure this is done by 1:30ish, which it should be. I'm not gonna try to talk too long today because I'm not a fucking asshole. But yeah, Jesus Louise's God, he fucking did it. I didn't think that he was gonna. I don't think anybody really thought that he could do it. I knew I had an opinion about if he did do it, why he would have done it, or how he could have done it. But no, I don't think anybody. Alama met me at the dorm at about 11:30 and we walked over to the Den to bark and just hang out, and apparently he saw like four or five white girls just crying. He's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's fucking hilarious. And their stupid boyfriends comfort them like, hey, it's okay, babe. Alright, babe, it's alright, babe. Hey, after this, can I play with your boobs? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean, guys? No, because like fucking, that's the thing. Stereotypical white girls will fall for stereotypical white boys. That's how it works. You know what I mean? So if you get a girl that's, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. I'm so scared. First of all, you have nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm so scared. And then the stereotypical white boy is gonna be like, hey babe, hey, what's going on, babe? I shouldn't say that. I guess the stereotypical white girl does have something to be afraid of because the dude is a sexist. He is a sexist. When I look at him, I don't think that, like, a lot of the shit that he spews out, I don't feel like it doesn't, to me, I don't feel like he's like, you know, it almost makes it worse that he's just saying shit to say it rather than the shit he actually believes. You know what I mean? Because when I look at him say a lot of the shit that he says, I'm like, okay, this dude's just doing this to get votes. He's pandering to the uneducated. But the sexist shit, I do. Like, he is. Like, it's pretty obvious that he's a misogynist. I mean, he fucking divorced 2 or 3 times, left his wife for a fucking Eastern European supermodel, which I'm going to try to do as well. I'm not going to lie. Eastern Europeans, right? Right, my gals. I'm so glad that they don't listen to this. So glad that they will never, ever listen to this. My Eastern European gals that I crushed on for a couple years. You know who you are. Woo. Yeah, I mean, he fucking. He won fucking Pennsylvania. He won Florida. Fucking Gary Johnson. My dad blames Gary Johnson for this whole thing. He's like, fucking Gary Johnson gave Trump Florida, but he wouldn't have lost even if he had. Hold on, let me see what the vote was. If he lost 26 and Hillary gained 26, would he have won? Let's check this out. Would he have still won? My phone's taking a second to load. So I'm going to sing a little song about the U.S. presidential election. Okay, so if he would have lost 26 votes, he would have been at 253. If Hillary got 26 votes, because she was at 28, she would be at 200 and... I don't think 253? Is that what it was? No, he would have been at 253. Oh, I think she would have just fucking beat him. Right? Yeah, she would just beat him at 254 rather than 253 if she had won Florida, which jeez. Wow. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she would have won if she would have won by a fucking slim margin if she had won Florida, I guess. But yeah, I mean, Gary Johnson fucked it up. Gary Johnson got like 2.5% of the vote in Florida, which is crazy. I mean, he won by a percentage point. So, fuck you, Gary Johnson. You're the reason our country ended. But no, it didn't end. People are overreacting, motherfuckers. They are. I mean, that was the problem with me with seeing all these white people crying and shit. Because that's the worst thing about white people is that they're like, here's a chance for me to be sad and afraid too. But like the people that I felt for last night weren't the people that were crying, the people that were freaking out. Everybody saw that picture the New York Times did, which everybody's mad at the New York Times because the New York Times was like, Hillary has an 84% chance of winning, and now everybody's like, fuck you, New York Times. But they did a New York Times picture last night where it's just two pictures of the people at the Trump supporters' reaction and the Hillary supporters' reaction to the news, and the Trump supporters' reaction were all fucking white dudes in suits, young 20-year-old white guys in suits, just smiling, like so happy. And then the picture of the Hillary supporters was the most diverse group of people I've ever seen, and there was just one Muslim lady in the front, just fucking. And she wasn't crying. There was a white lady next to her that was crying, and then there was just this Muslim that was just had a blank stare. And that was the most powerful thing that I saw, because it wasn't a what am I gonna do? It was like, what am I gonna do? It was like the implications didn't sink in because there was more to sink in, and it was more important than just here's a chance for me to be afraid and scared. And that was sad as fuck. And that was like the same thing that happened at the club last night. We walked over to the Bunga's Den, and there was this I don't know his name yet, but there's this white Jewish guy that was like fucking bouncing around and screaming about how Trump won the election. Because I was there while everybody was starting to figure out like, oh shit, the dude won. Like he won Florida, he fucking won. And everybody was sort of letting it sink in, and this white dude was jumping around, fucking, he won, the fucking asshole. And then Keese, which is this really fucking black dude that usually goes to the Bunga's Den, and he wasn't really freaking out. And the white dude was like, how can you be so calm about this? You're freaking me out, man. You're freaking me out. You're freaking me out. And he was obviously like sort of distraught. And he was just like, listen, the truth is, I was a struggling brother today. And no matter who won, who the president is tomorrow, I'm going to be a struggling brother tomorrow. And that was fucking like, oh shit. That was more than, what am I gonna do? I'm white, I'm scared. It was like, oh shit. Like, and it's sad. It really is. It really is fucking sad, And that was what I got from it, is that like, and I don't know, and he was like, it makes me feel sort of betrayed. You know what I mean? All these fucking, you know what I mean? Like, how could all these people vote that way? You know what I mean? How could the majority of the country vote that way? And the fucking Trump won by a landslide. I mean, what, 226 to 276 or some shit? Like, that's fucking insane. Or 250, 228 to 270. Like, it's fucking crazy. I don't know. Like, he just decimated her. And it was because, here's my fucking theory on it. And I was up with Alma till like probably 5 last night just talking about it. Here's my theory, is that it's fucking the left's fault that he won. It really fucking is. It really is the left's fault. Because by the end of this election, I was more sick of the left than I was sick of the fucking ridiculous racist Republicans and shit. Because the left, first of all, the left did fuck over Bernie. The left fucked over Bernie, which in hindsight, he would have been easily the better candidate, just because he's honest. And that's what it came down to, this election, I think, is that people like Trump, even though he was a fucking asshole, they for some reason thought that he was honest, or more honest than Hillary. And the thing about Bernie is that Bernie's the most honest motherfucker there is. So even if he was a little bit more radical and he wasn't as stereotypical, or you know what I mean, as Hillary was politics wise, even though he was like like more radical, people were afraid that he wouldn't be able to go up against whoever won the primaries, the Republicans, that, you know what I mean, because of the 8-year swing. We had eight years of Obama. People figured like, oh shit, people are gonna naturally lean more right. We can't have someone that's so left. But here's the thing: is that Bernie was fucking. The people loved Bernie, and he was honest. He had the same values his whole career. And the fact that Trump won the primaries for the Republicans, it was like, oh shit, like this just shows that this is not a normal election. People want change wherever it comes, and Hillary is not change. Hillary was not change, and everybody knew it. And I think it's fucked up to talk about anything in hindsight, though. Like, Bernie would have won, because like no one really knows if Bernie would have won. A lot of young people wanted Bernie from the beginning, but no one really knows if he could have won, or if things would have been the same if he had run. So I'm not going to be the one to say that like the fact that Hillary that Hillary and the DNC rigged the primaries shows or is going to be the reason that Trump won. But I mean, I really do blame the left for this shit, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't vote, and almost everybody I know didn't vote. Everybody my age did not vote. I know so many fucking millennials that did not vote this election, and it's not because of because most of pretty much all my friends are left leaning, and it's not because I don't like Hillary, or it's not that at all. It wasn't like that the Louis C.K. bit that was trending a couple days ago, and that's fucking gold, and that's fucking spot on. Like, I like Hillary. I don't give a shit about Benghazi or whatever all these fucking idiots are screaming about all the time. The fact that 4 military personnel died 8 years ago. Like, you're in the fucking military. You know what I'm saying? Like, you signed up to get your legs blown off. Maybe that's not a good thing for me to say, but there's truth to it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna feel bad for someone that signed up and knew the risk to serve our country, and then I'm not gonna blame one person 8 years later for their deaths. The fucking fact that the Republican National Convention was so ridiculous that they just kept screaming Benghazi over and over again. The crowds were Benghazi. They had the fucking mother come out of one of the soldiers that was fucking inaudible. You know what I mean? You couldn't understand a word she was saying because she was crying so hard, screaming it. Hillary Clinton is a liar and a crook. She's the definition of evil in this country. Just crying, sobbing her eyes out. And then, like, in the end, they had Chachi come out. He's like, hey, vote Donald Trump. And it's like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, that was the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. The fucking Republican primary. That was a shit show. But yeah, I mean, he fucking did it. Jesus Christ, that happened. So no, I was never one that hated Hillary at all. You know what I mean? The email thing is ridiculous. I don't know, man. There's something about those emails. She seems corrupt. Of course she's fucking corrupt. You know what I mean? She's an establishment politician. Of course she's corrupt. They're all corrupt. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean Trump isn't because he's not, from the establishment. Of course he's a fucking businessman. You don't think he's corrupt? You know what I mean? And the crazy thing is business, big business runs this country. You know what I mean? They have fucking, They have control of, the Congress and the Senate. You know what I'm saying? Like they are the ones that fill these legislators' pockets. You know what I mean? To make these laws and decide how the country works. So, like, I don't understand how people are like, Trump is an outsider. He's for us. Like, he's not part of the government. Like, I mean, he represents the worst part of the government. The fact that we can, pay off the people that make decisions for us to go for big business rather than for the people. So, like, I don't understand people thought that Trump was for them, even the fucking poor white people. The fact that the GOP for all these years has gotten these poor white people to think that they're for them is fucking insane to me. I don't even know how that's possible. That they were able to do that. Like, I don't understand how. I don't understand how they were able to literally convince all the people that, hey, we're your party, all these poor white people. Like, I guess literally, maybe it's just because of the fact that they're like, well, hey, let's keep religion in there so that, like, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, shit sucks, so they're probably religious because otherwise they'd kill themselves. Like, is that the way that they do it? I don't know. I honestly, I'm not smart enough to know. And I shouldn't even be talking about this because I'm not smart enough to know. I'm not educated enough to know any of this shit. But I'm just giving my opinion. You know what I mean? That's why I did it at the end, because no one's going to listen to it. That's why I did it at the end. So I'm not going to... but the fact that she lost... Here's my theory. Is that she lost because of the fucking left. Because I got so fucking sick of being, and that's the reason I didn't vote. I can't speak for anybody else. A lot of my friends just didn't fucking care because they know that the president doesn't have that much power. The president isn't gonna fuck the president. Here's the thing: the worst thing Trump can do is fuck up our foreign policy, and that was the reason I didn't want him to win. And that might sound selfish to a lot of people, but I knew he couldn't really like do that much damage. I mean, we have 3 branches for a reason. Even though all 3 branches are now controlled by the Republicans, we have 3 branches for a reason, and most of the Republicans hate him. You know what I mean? Because he represents everything that they have despised. So for me, the worst thing that he could do was fuck up our foreign policy. And I live in New York City, so every single fucking nuke is pointed towards us. I've had that joke for a while. Every nuke is pointed towards us, New York City. Even our own, for some reason, is like programmed to hit New York. Even like the first U.S. one. So it's not... for me, that's the scariest thing, is that, for so long we've had this great run with Obama. Everybody, except for the people that have been catching drones for the past 8 years, everybody pretty much loves Obama. Like, he was a great leader of the free world, and now we have this fucking guy that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing and knows that he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing and probably has admitted that he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know. Man. I don't know what we're gonna do, but the reason that the Hillary lost, and the reason people didn't vote, the reason I didn't vote, is I was sick of the DNC and the media. Because that's the worst part, is that all these people, because Trump won on the fact that he kept saying the election was rigged, and then when pretty much every single media source is spewing fucking bad rhetoric about Trump, like, what do you think people are gonna think? Me, as someone that knows that just shit isn't completely rigged, or at least felt pretty confident or hoped that it wasn't rigged, sort of knew that like sort of knew that. Sorry, I don't know why I'm stopping mid-track. I'm getting messages from people, so I'm just gonna turn my phone over and not look at it. But I sort of hoped that it wasn't rigged. But like, when you look in pretty much all media and all, like, the New York magazine a couple days ago had Trump's face with the words loser on it, and when everybody's spewing this hatred about the guy that everyone knows is bad, like, no one is going to read a magazine and go, oh shit, I don't really like the sound of this Trump guy, I don't really like the ideas he's... Everybody fucking knows. You know what I mean? The scariest part of Trump was never the rhetoric that was spread about him. The scariest part about Trump was watching him in the debate. You know what I mean? Educated people were watching him in the debate and saw what a fucking crazy person is. I don't need a fucking pretentious ass piece of shit to tell me why he's bad. And that's what it got to me, is that I felt like a pawn. You know what I mean? I felt like all this media like feels that they have the right or the ability to control young people. You know what I mean? I felt stupid. I felt taken advantage of. And I know most people aren't going to give a shit what I feel like, and that's perfectly fine because I'm a stupid teenager. But I mean, that's personally me. That's personally what I felt. And I felt like they weren't even trying sometimes. I read this article in the New Yorker, which normally I fucking love, that was the most pretentious piece of shit article I've ever read, that like non-ironically suggested World War III, and it was like talking to, and it took like low shots at this dude. Like, it was like, oh, he's an orange ass. That doesn't fucking matter right now. Like, that's not what you should be talking about. The fact that he's orange. Like, why? What the fuck are you doing? I don't know. So for me, and I think that was a big reason a lot of the millennials didn't vote, because it came down to the millennials this time, and they didn't show. And that's really all it was. And the fact that the left kept saying he was a loser and that he was going to lose, and they kept projecting Hillary to win, that worked for the primaries. That's the thing. That's how they rigged the primaries, is they kept saying Bernie couldn't do it, Hillary's going to win, and so Hillary won. They rigged the primaries, and they rigged so that's how, but that shit did not work for the presidency. Saying that Hillary was going to win is not going to work for the presidency, because Bernie was never like, the shit's rigged. Bernie never said that shit. But the fact that Trump kept saying that, and all supporters so firmly believed that it was rigged, made every single fucking Trump supporter go out and vote. You know what I mean? And the fact they talked down to the millennials for so long was one of the reasons that the millennials did not vote. The millennials felt, at least for me, I felt stupid. You know what I mean? So that's my take on it. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but I'm sure it makes sense to me. But I don't know if I sound like an idiot, or I probably do. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know too much about this stuff, but that's been my feeling about it. I still can't believe he fucking won, but like I said, I don't think he's gonna do anything. I don't think he's gonna fuck anything up. Yeah, and that's what one of my friends said, that like a couple of my friends that didn't vote are like, I kind of think that he's gonna like step back. You know what I mean? Because like, and not be as a piece of shit as he had to be to win the primary or to win the election. But I mean, that's fucking asking for a lot, and that's hoping a lot. But I mean, all the people on Facebook last night were ridiculous. They were just, I'm leaving this fucking country. And like, Pennsylvania betrayed me. Like, Pennsylvania betrayed you? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, Pennsylvania like grew legs and arms, like fucking Mickey Mouse arms, and then took out a knife and stabbed you in the back. What do you mean? But Pennsylvania betrayed you? That was one of the things I also hated. That's one of the biggest things I hated about Trump, is that is that not only did it allow for being talked down to for me and a lot of other people, it allowed for people that didn't know shit to have an opinion. You know what I mean? Like it suddenly became like really cool to like, at least where I was back in Florida, there was a bunch of people that just spewed like, Donald Trump's such an idiot, and then they'd like look around for support and be like, yeah, like it was an easy person to hate and everybody pretty much could agree on it. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, he won. And then everybody like today that's talking about like, this is why the Electoral College exists. This is why yada yada yada. This is like, I don't know, man. Like I think we just gotta take this as an L. You know what I mean? I read something today that like we got, we didn't get the president we wanted. We got the president that we deserved. The fucking audacity he had to play fucking, you can't always get what you want. You get what you need. Like the fact that he was playing Rolling Stones, you can't always get what you want, after he won at his speech, is so fucking telling about him, about this country, about everything. That's the problem with this country. I'm not gonna talk about this shit. That's the problem. People that have talked about the problem in this country have talked about the problem in this country 100 different ways for 100 different problems. So they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. If you ever hear someone go, that's the problem with this country, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. That's facts. But that's so telling. We didn't get what we want. We got what we deserved. I think we got to take this L. I really do. I think we got to take this L and realize like this will never happen again. This will never happen again. I know they. This will never. Now we know. Hey, shit. Hey, you know what? This shit isn't rigged. Now all those people that voted Trump that thought it was rigged now know. Oh shit, it's not rigged. And once he fucks up, because he will fuck up, I doubt that he's going to turn out to be this amazing president. He fucking could, but I really doubt, just because he hasn't had any experience. Even if he turns out to be a good guy, he's not going to be able to do shit because he's never done this type of shit before, so he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So, this shit isn't going to happen again. And now Kanye has a chance to win. You know what I mean? Because, like, I guess what I mean is the fact that someone's... To me, I think that since it bounced right, it's going to bounce really far back left in 4 years. Probably not enough, realistically, to have Kanye win, even though Kanye will get every single millennial to vote. Every single person that is a millennial will vote against Kanye, but people will be fucking... At the primaries, people will be like, oh my God, all these fucking millennials are going to polls? What the fuck is happening? Like, how is Kanye doing this? But, Kanye will have the millennial vote down. Like, Kanye will get every single millennial to vote for him, and that's just facts. So like, I think it's pretty safe to say this won't happen again. The parallels between Hitler and Donald Trump are, in my opinion, kind of ridiculous, but there's also some truth to it. If you think about the way the recession and shit has been, and the way people are just angry and fed up, and all these poor white people that want someone to blame. It's fucking... It's Hitler-esque, you know what I mean? I don't think it's to the same extent. I think we live in a world now where we learn... That's the most important part about studying from history, and that's the most important part that everyone knows about Nazi Germany. Everyone knows about Hitler, even the dumbest fucking people, is that now we know. Now we know. We have that mistake in history so that we know. So I don't think it's ever going to go as far as that. I think saying that it could is a little ridiculous. Someone's gonna... That'd be so funny if someone, like, finds this in 50 years, finds this on a fucking... I don't know, maybe I could put this on a flash drive and someone plugs it into an old dusty computer and listens to this and be like, man, that kid had no idea what's coming. I don't know. But I guess that's really all I gotta say. I don't think that it's gonna turn out that way. But, we just gotta take the L, I doubt the Electoral College is going to vote against the states. Because he won by such a landslide. So I think we just got to take the L. And he's he can't do that much. I know he's an asshole. I know he's a racist. I know he's homophobic. I know he's a misogynist, and I know that he's not a good example for anybody in this country. But at least people can rest assured that he can't do that much. You know what I mean? Like and first of all, he can't do that much because the president doesn't have much power. And second, he doesn't fucking know how. The paperwork required to do anything that he wants to do, he's not going to know what the fuck to do. He's not going to know any of it. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as big of a like pretty much as soon as he won, a couple hours after, an article came out in the New Yorker, an American tragedy. And I think it's telling of the world that we live in today. And I think it sets a bad example for the rest of the country. And I think America's going to suffer from it. The stock market like dipped last night, but I think that's just a temporary thing. I think that would happen no matter who won. Maybe not to the same extent, but I think it would have happened no matter who won. It was a big upset. But I think the worst thing is that he's not a good person. And people that voted for him knew. That's the weirdest part. Is people that voted for him knew that he wasn't a good person. They were like, you know what? We don't need a good person. We need a good president. Which is like, okay, whatever you say. But I mean, really, what's going to suffer is the view of America and as a leader from other countries. So I mean, we haven't really been a leader in anything for quite some time, but this is just very showing of the hatred in America. You know what I mean? I think that the especially the way that the left and the Democrats talked about Trump's supporters, that was another thing, like fucking calling them deplorable, saying they couldn't do it, saying they couldn't win, calling them racist. If you voted for Donald Trump, you were a racist. I mean, that was the atmosphere here at NYU, at least. That, you know what I mean? If you argued for Donald Trump at all, it's like, you fucking racist. Like, that's not a good fucking environment for discussion and for winning to be that. I mean, because it is a little bit of ignorance. You know what I mean? Like, you should discuss. You should always discuss, no matter what, even if you do not believe in that shit at all, even if like to you it's completely fucking it's unheard of, that, but you should always discuss. And yeah, I mean, it happened, and I think that we as a country just gotta just take this L, dude, and we'll all be okay. It annoyed me this morning when all those entertainers were writing tweets about, we're gonna be okay, like I think Patton Oswalt was like, hug your loved ones close, kiss them goodnight, wake up. It's a little sentimental from everyone, but I mean, there's some truth to it. I mean, it was a big upset for a lot of people. As a white guy, I can't really articulate or understand the fear of minorities and shit, so I'm not going to pretend like I can. But at least for me, at least from my point of view, I don't. I think shit's going to be okay in the long run. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think anybody's going to. I think it'll be okay. Even Hillary said today, like, well, we gotta give the dude a chance no matter what. It's if everybody starts rioting like they're doing now, and everybody like calls for, you know what I mean, that's the threat to democracy. The fact that he won is the biggest. It might seem ironic, but the fact that he won is the biggest testament to how well our democracy works. Like, this political outsider won the U.S. presidential election. So in a way, it's fucking horrible that it happened to be, a misogynistic racist that people completely underestimated. But I mean, he won. And he won from a fucking grassroots, bottom-up movement that, in the future, we can use that to do some really fucking powerful shit. So just proves that our democracy works, if nothing else. Yeah, and I think that's all I really want to talk about. I think I articulated all my feelings towards it. I know that everybody listening gives a shit, right? Everybody totally. So yeah, this was good. It was good to talk a little bit about. Yeah. Keep you guys keep your peeps updated about what's going on in the future. My sketches don't really feel as important anymore. I kind of want to like do some topical shit, but at the same time, I know I'm not smart enough to do topical shit. And then the sketch is about being fat, and the sketch is about cook. Like, it doesn't feel as important, so I might have to wait a little while to put them out. As completely distasteful as that is, like, well, the bad thing is I gotta wait to do comedy now. But open mics are gonna be interesting for the next couple of weeks about what's everybody's take. So I'm gonna have to definitely go to those, even if I'm not gonna perform. So yeah, I mean, that's it. That's how it went. It happened. Let's fucking let's see what I have. I have my first NYU class in 40 minutes, so can't wait to see what that's like. I'll have to take some notes and talk about it next week. So yeah, if we're still alive next week. All right, that's it. Signing off. Signing off with Lil Ro Flows.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm just like a boat upon a winding river, twisting towards an endless black sea, further and further, drifting away from where I want to be, who I want